Hello Cowboys Nation. Here's another round of Dallas Cowboys news. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like it so you don't team up. Cowboys losing critical offensive lineman in Week 16. The Dallas Cowboys are limping into the playoffs and need to avoid injuries as much as possible. In recent seasons, the strength of the Dallas Cowboys squad has been the offensive line. Regardless of the drama or inconsistency plaguing the rest of the offense, the Giants in the trenches have been the anchors holding the Dallas squad together. At this point in the season, a team needs to rely on its most reliable tools to make the playoffs. The Cowboys' two best offensive linemen will be released on Wednesday. Although Dallas has relied on its offensive line this season, the best part of that group has undoubtedly been made up of two players, left tackle Tyron Smith and right guard Zach Martin. Unfortunately for Dallas, their two best offensive linemen didn't practice on Wednesday and are unlikely to take the field against the mighty Miami Dolphins on Sunday. Smith has been with the team since he was selected with the 9th overall pick in the 2011 NFL Draft and has been named to 8 Pro Bowls in that time. Martin was drafted by Dallas with the 16th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft and has been named first-team All-Pro 6 times in that period. It's safe to say that losing these two brutes would be a major setback for Dallas this weekend. Although the running game hasn't been as consistent, Dallas' offensive line has allowed quarterback Dak Prescott to put up impressive numbers this season, as he's been in talks for the Most Valuable Player award all season. Without his best weapons, Prescott may need to rely more on his average evasiveness to make plays, as the pocket may not look as clean as it normally does for him. Injuries couldn't come at a worse time for Dallas, as the team desperately clings to the lead in the NFC East over the mighty Philadelphia Eagles. Dallas is currently relying on the tiebreaker to see off Philadelphia and essentially can't afford to lose another game this season. Dallas will likely start reserve left tackle Chuma Edoga in place of Smith and undrafted rookie right guard TJ Bass in place of Martin. Neither reserve seems to have seen substantial time in big games this season. Bass will likely need additional help in the form of double teams and chips to defend his star quarterback from elite defensive tackle Christian Wilkins. After Miami, Dallas closes out the season against the NFC powerhouse Detroit Lions and the wasteful Washington Commanders. Dallas will need all the help it can get as it tries to fend off the Eagles and potentially move ahead of San Francisco as the number 1 seed in the NFC. Due to rule changes in recent years, only the number 1 seed will keep a first-round bye and have an advantage in the 2023 NFL playoffs. Mike McCarthy provides injury update on Zach Martin. In addition to being half-exposed and generating countless speculations about their true status as contenders, their offensive line also suffered 2 major blows. Lieutenant Tyron Smith suffered a back injury during the game and RG Zach Martin couldn't even finish the game because of a hip injury, neither of whom were able to participate in practice all week. Notably, HC Mike McCarthy spoke about their status on 105.3 The Fan, stating that Zach is closer to returning than Tyron, but didn't make it clear whether they would play against the Miami Dolphins or not, via John Machota. This final stretch of the season will be crucial and brutal for the U.S. national team. They're currently top of the NFC East, but have the same record as the Philadelphia Eagles, so any setback could be a catastrophe at this point in the season. The Cowboys still have to face the Detroit Lions and Washington Commanders after this game against the Dolphins, while the Eagles have 2 games against the New York Giants and 1 against the Arizona Cardinals, so they clearly have a much easier schedule to close out the campaign. Mike McCarthy's team hasn't done well away from home, and that could be a big problem when they face the league's most explosive offense, especially if they're short-handed and unable to keep up with the scoring pace on the other end of the court. Former player explains why the Cowboys can't beat the Dolphins. They are seen as one of the Super Bowl favorites, and Dak Prescott is in the running for the MVP award. Despite everything going right for this team, not everyone is convinced that the Cowboys are the team to beat. Plaxico Burress recently appeared on The Carton Show, outlining his concerns about the Cowboys' future. His concerns started with the upcoming clash with the Miami Dolphins, saying, "I just don't think the Dallas Cowboys will be able to slow down the Miami Dolphins' passing game this weekend." With that in mind, he believes the Dolphins will beat the Cowboys. For Burress, Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins' attack will overwhelm the Cowboys' defense, a big reason why he picked them in this matchup. Given that Las Vegas sportsbooks currently have this game as their pick, it seems that everyone is undecided about what will happen in this game. With a combined over/under of 49.5 points, however, people are anticipating a shootout, despite the strong defenses of both teams. This is one of the hottest games of the weekend, as many fans expected it to be moved to Monday Night Football. Instead, it will take place on Christmas Eve, leaving these two teams battling it out in a standard Sunday scenario. It will be interesting to see how these lineups combine and whether Burress' prediction will come true. Intuition: Cowboys vs. Dolphins team predictions. The Cowboys are second in the NFL in scoring, behind only the Dolphins. The Dolphins are one of the best teams in the NFL, behind only the Cowboys. But being at home doesn't matter for Dallas in this game, as the Cowboys must find a way to get on track away from home, where they are just 3-4 this season. Here's what the writers have to say about Sunday's game against the Dolphins. Patrick Walker: when the Cowboys lost to the Bills, they gave the Dolphins a lot more to play for, the AFC East crown, in Week 16. As if the challenge of stopping Miami's attack wasn't daunting enough, the Cowboys have to deal with this rumor and the fact that they can't afford to lose two straight with the NFC East crown, and one of the NFC's top seeds, in their grasp. Initially, I considered this game a loss for Dallas, but that was before they laid an egg in Buffalo. They haven't done it twice in a row under McCarthy since November 2021, and while my gut says the Dolphins win, history says otherwise. 30-27, Cowboys. Nick Eatman: it usually takes me until Friday to make the pick, or at least to get the final score. But for some reason, I've had the same feeling about this game all week, even with the latest injury problems on the Cowboys' offensive line. It seems the Dolphins have their share of problems as well. But I have the Cowboys finding a way to bounce back, just like they've done the last 2 years. This team just knows how to focus and prepare for the next game, especially after a tough loss. I think the Cowboys will score a lot of points and continue to hold off the Dolphins. It won't be a blowout, but I think we'll see the Cowboys as the better team from start to finish. I have Dallas 38-28. Nick Harris: I have a hard time having confidence in the Cowboys' ability to defend Miami's numerous offensive speed weapons, but I also see an opportunity for CeeDee Lamb to have a big day out of the slot. I see this being a high-scoring game, with the last team to have the ball being the winner. Even if the Cowboys respond offensively, I think their defense gives up a little more. Dolphins 38-35. Kyle Euman's speed was the main theme this week. The offensive speed of the Dolphins against the defensive speed of the Cowboys. Both teams have it, but one team has the edge. The loss in Buffalo will leave Dallas ready to go in this game, although it won't have as big an effect on the overall result in my eyes. This is a tough matchup, and with the injuries Dallas has up front, I don't think they'll adjust enough. If they played 10 times, I think Dallas would make it 6-4, but this time Miami would win 34-30. What did you think of the news? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any Dallas Cowboys news. Thank you.